Hello everyone, welcome back. I am on a quest to find a good romance this year. I've read like 10 of them this year and none of them were good. When I was in New York, I got an email from the Free Library of Philadelphia and they said that my hold on Alone With You in the Ether is fulfilled. So now I can come and pick it up and read it. So this is my reading vlog on Alone With You in the Ether, and I hope it's good because it gets so much hype. I am at a very fragile state in my life where I just can't handle disappointment because I am a disappointment in itself. So, like, call me Scooby-Doo, but I can't do this anymore. Alone With You in the Ether was originally independently published, and the cover is, like, so classy. But then it got famous, and the publishing house decided to publish it again. And when I saw the cover online, I was like, what happened? Why? What is this? Maybe we got lost in translation. Maybe I asked for too much. How did we get here? I might drop this vlog halfway through because I get bored and I have an attention span of a fucking carrot. So we'll see if this video goes up at all. Joke's on me. I'm on my way to the library to pick up my copy of Alone With You in the Ether. And also to return You Deserve Each Other. I'm so excited actually. Okay, so I got her. She's better be good. I am at my usual reading area and I am on page 40 of Alone With You in the Ether. I just finished where they like first met and I like the prose and I like how things are going. The personality of Aldo and Reagan is not at all what I expected. How do I say this? So Aldo is a PhD student in theoretical math, and as someone who is also in STEM and is also who is getting into academia and like pursuing a doctorate degree, I feel like the depiction of how research and being a PhD student actually feels a little like, I'm not gonna lie, like it's not clicking. But again, I don't know much about how it is in math because I'm in a different field. Maybe that's how it is in theoretical math, but it's definitely not how it is in biochemistry and chemistry or biology in general. But there is something I must comment on, is that it's written in kind of like a screenplay kind of thing where, is there a page I can show you? So where there is, dialogue and just like regular storytelling that you would expect, but there are also lines where you have a narrator or like a scene description like that you would expect from a screenplay. So kind of like this, where you have just regular lines and then here you have the narrators. And I feel like it's kind of like disrupting the flow of the story a little bit because it's not 100% a screenplay and it's not 100% a like regular fiction. The flow does suffer from that, but again, I am kind of intrigued to see how this would go, like would this kind of writing continue, because it feels like it's changing when they're meeting. So far it's not living up to the hype for me, but I'm only like 40 pages in. We have a long journey to go, so we'll see about that and I'll keep you updated. Look at her. Come on, she's so cute. Okay, so I am at the 100-page mark of Alone with You in the Ether, and I have thoughts. I must say, it feels very different from other romance that I read. Two mentally ill people coming together, and like there's like the sexual tension is like still well done, but there are parts that is kind of bothering me. As a woman in STEM, I know exactly what's happening here when like a person that isn't in STEM writing about someone that is in STEM. Like I see the stereotypical sciencey nerd you know, depiction, and I'm not loving it because I know people in STEM that don't behave like that. Okay, we are like a fine breed of people. Even though I know Aldo is like supposedly a genius, so who am I to say? Maybe he's just built different. But I am not loving that. And the thing that I complained earlier about like the screenplay type of writing, it's gone now. It's gone after the first chapter. So thank you, because I don't think I can handle that. And I hope that things wouldn't go cynical. I'm having breakfast and coffee, and I'm reading right now. They finally got together. Oh my god. Like I was holding my breath the entire time. Like the sexual tension and the angst just builds up so well, and then they came together and I was like, thank god, because I can't do this anymore. But there are parts about the writing and the wording and the prose that I have thoughts on. I just got past the part where they were fighting. I know what Olivia Blake is doing here. Like I understand why she's doing it, but the thing is, the way she tells the fight, like the way she depicts the fight, is that it's told in third person and there's no dialogue. I don't know how to. It's not like Sally Rooney where there's no quotation mark, but it just, I don't know, it's the writing in this part is a little weird for me, and it was hard to follow like who said what, because nobody was saying anything. For example, I'm going to read a little bit, like it, just ignore the context, but it's, so they're fighting. Yes, grudgingly he sees it. What's his point? He doesn't have a point, he just wanted to tell her. She thinks he's incredibly weird. He knows. Is she okay with it? Okay with it? Fuck it, he has no idea. This part is not too bad, but it just, imagine like pages and pages of something like that, and it was hard to follow at the end. Okay guys, so I finished Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake, and I have thoughts. I have not finalized on the star rating for this book yet, but I think, can I say this? This feels a little scandalous to say it, but I think it's around a 3 star to 3.5 for me. I'm a little bit disappointed. This started quite well in the way that the prose was established, and the writing kind of gives off like a dreamy, hazy you know, like hallucinating vibes. But then as it goes on, it really shows the weakness of the writer. The biggest criticism for me is that she overwrites a lot. Like, this book needs a shit ton of editing, especially at the end where the tension was building up and they were starting to have like conflict. So this author has the tendency to say the same thing over and over again, but like in different forms or different wording, or like just too much analogies and metaphors. If you read Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton, it's kind of give up the same vibe. I'm like, I get the point. I know that he loves her. I know that she loves him. You don't have to write it in 2,000 ways. We understand. We got the memo. And then another thing is that, so when Aldo and Reagan kind of come together and have this like kind of like codependent relationship, where it was set up that you know, they are saving each other like mentally, I was not feeling it. It just came out of nowhere where they just kind of get obsessed with each other, but I didn't understand why. The writing was more about like telling, not showing. So she writes a lot about like how they love each other and how they become obsessed with each other, and you know, like develop this like unhealthy codependent relationship, which I don't have a problem with unhealthy relationships because, you know, I have a fair share of mine too. So, you know, people figure it out. Like, I don't have a problem with that, but we don't see it. It's all happening in their head, and it's all happening in the writing, but it's not being shown. And just imagine reading like paragraphs of the same thing over and over again, but not seeing anything actually happening. It got frustrating, especially in the last third of the book. The other thing is that Reagan is bipolar, so she got prescribed medicine to stay sane, and by the end of the book, she was trying to get off the pills. She was saying that she could not make art because she's an artist. She said that she could not make art when she's on the pill, and it was like making her depressed and everything. And I don't think that is the kind of message to put out there. In the acknowledgement, the author did say that she is bipolar herself, and the pill helps a lot. And she's not trying to tell people that, you know, like the drugs are not working and you shouldn't do that. But at the same time in the story, that's exactly what's happening. And I don't like the depiction where like mental health professionals are kind of like being played as the evil, or being played as just, you know, somebody that is annoying, where essentially through the conversation between the psychiatrist and Reagan, we can see that they are just doing their job and they are trying to do it well. And I'm not big on shitting on medicine and drugs that works scientifically, and you know, they have concrete science to back them up. Is it because I'm also studying biochemistry and pharmacology? Probably. Very likely. I know how the drug works. I study them in class. So I do have some kind of a passion about medicine and drugs. But I think the point that I'm bringing up is totally plausible. That being, you know, we should not do that. I think I understand the complexity of mental health, you know, mental illness, but that's not it. I don't think that was a good message, and I don't think it was serving the story in any way. Another thing that I have to say is that towards the end of the book, the attraction between Aldo and Reagan becomes very physical, where they just have like hot rapid sex all the time. Oh lord, is it because I'm asexual? The sex wasn't bad, so it started off well, and it's kind of just go downhill. I think this book really needs better editing. That was too much. And even like the way that the dialogues were given, where essentially there are very few dialogues in this book, and the dialogues are written in like a third person kind of way. I don't think it works stylistically, and I don't think it works literarily. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a letdown, but compared to other romance books, it's not bad. I'm just a little disappointed because I was supposed to like it. You know, I like it when mentally ill people come together and and give each other the love that they don't have. And then yeah, and the writing style at first should be something that I like too, but it's not. And I feel like they were just trying too hard, and the characters, despite being marketed as like complex and difficult to understand, they just come off as quite one-dimensional to me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was supposed to like this book. I appreciate it for what it is, but I don't think it was not it for me. But yes, who would have thought I actually finished the reading vlog? So this is an achievement for me. I would still recommend it if you're, you know, curious about the book. So just wait until the paperback come out and buy it on ebooks secondhand, because I don't think it's worth the money for the hardback or the brand new full price book. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy my thoughts on this book, and I will see you next time, hopefully.